Hello and welcome
to another episode of
Gives and Takes.
That's Sabrina Harding.
That's Ashley Tank. I almost said Ashley Hokut.
Oh, well, basically.
I mean...
In many ways.
In many ways.
In many ways, it's true.
It almost like flowed off the tongue.
I love it. Separated at birth, truly.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think Papa just forgot about me.
You're my twin.
Yeah. Well, we are.
He's like, we can only handle one child right now.
It was a straight up parent trap situation. He just dumped me off with like a local woman. Turned out to be Jennifer Tank, my mother.
He's like, they'll be close.
Yeah, they'll be close.
Actually, when my mom was pregnant, someone said to her, because like I was super big, like I was a huge baby.
Nice.
And nice.
It's a flex.
It's a real
That's why you're so healthy now.
Yeah.
They say that.
Just that huge bowling ball baby.
Mm-hmm.
But someone came up to her and was like, oh, like, congratulations. Like, are you having twins? My mom's like, no. And they go, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally
they were
did not
convinced.
believe. They're like, this woman is losing it. But
she's also very small.
yes. So I think, like, a belly probably just looked like extra...
abnormal on her.
Extra large.
Yeah. But she wasn't as big with Rebecca and Anya then?
No.
Or, okay.
It was me. And I'm also the child who she had to have 2 spoons while feeding because in between each bite I would cry.
Oh my God. I understand that.
Isn't that kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
no, like
I get that.
That actually hits and resonates to this day.
You're like, same. You're like, I still struggle every time I'm dipping it back in the bowl.
The breath in between.
It's too long. It's too long.
It's too much.
Oh, man. That's great. I love that. So today's episode is about confessions.
Ooh.
So, do we want to start with an update first? Do you have any updates?
I think like the only update that I have is I went to the farmer's market.
Oh, I saw that.
This was the best Saturday. James was like, what do we want to do? And I kind of planned like a me day.
I love that.
And so we went to my favorite coffee shop. We sat down, like did some like adulting things that, like everyone's putting off. But like we're getting to it. We went across the street to my favorite store. I bought a brand new outfit.
Ooh!
Went to a thrift, like a little like pop-up thrift stand. I bought a quilted blanket, like a really rainbow colored quilted
You gotta
blanket.
have a really good quilted blanket.
You do. I feel like maybe I'll bring it because it would like match the vibe of the video.
We'd love that.
Because we're officially on video.
We're officially on video.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think about that? We've been told probably by every single person that we've talked to, like, you guys need to be on video. And apparently there is still a really large following on YouTube.
Yeah. People are big into YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the iPad kids.
Oh, those iPad kids. Shout out.
Shout out. Don't know their content is for you. What are you doing here?
Get off.
This isn't for you.
Click next video.
Right. But yeah, we're finally doing it. My sister was gracious enough to basically gift us this camera for...
Yes. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah, she's a good one. She's a good egg.
Our first donation.
Yeah. Love it. So we're going to be navigating how we're doing this microphone situation too. This is a little bit new for us too. Are we doing like a handoff thing?
We could do a handoff. We could do a little post in the middle.
Okay.
I'm down with either.
Okay. It's kind of like when you're walking in the rain with somebody and only one of you has an umbrella.
It's so awesome.
And it's like, who holds it?
Yeah.
Who holds it? Like, how do you tell the person to, like, get in here a little bit more so we can both be under this?
You have to be at the same pace.
And the person who's holding it always stays the more dry. Unless they're like a guy and they're being kind about the woman.
They're
like,
shielding.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
It might be clunky, but that's okay.
That's fine.
We're here.
I think we love it.
Yeah, we do love it.
We do love it.
Quickly finishing my story, coffee shop, quilts,
Yes.
outfit, farmer's market. This is what I wanted to say. If you guys go to the farmer's market, first of all, it's a life-changing experience. Second of all, you will be broke. What the actual hell happened to me in there? I feel like I was, I don't know, just like...
They put something in the air.
I was taken over.
It's the fresh bread and the fresh flowers, and the combination of them creates a drug.
I felt like I was on drugs.
It's the same drug that's in casinos, where...
They're pumping the oxygen.
Where they're pumping it. They're pumping something, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I need to go to the local ATM and pull out $400 and just...
Yeah, I'll give them anything.
Right. I'm going to give them... I'm actually going to give them my cat as collateral. Or, like, I'm going to give them the keys to my car as collateral because I need everything.
I need that fresh oregano.
When's the last time I used a fresh jam? It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I go to the farmer's market and I become, like, a jam connoisseur.
It's so true. I needed like the freshest honey.
Right.
And I'm like, I have not tasted honey in almost a year. And I'm like, I actually need the largest jar.
I need oh, and a little like spoon thing, a little honeycomb spoon. Oh, it's $50. Put it in the bag.
Yeah, I absolutely need it.
I need it. And it'll sit and collect dust, but
yeah.
I love that so much.
So just beware.
Mm-hmm.
This is my warning to you.
Great warning. Annie and I did that a couple of weeks ago, and the exact same thing happened. Where we went wrong was our very what we thought was going to be our last stop in there was a wine tasting.
Uh-oh. It'll get you.
So we were all hopped up on caffeine. We just had a delicious lunch, and then I bought breads that we ate most of. We bought flowers, we got all the like little things. Annie got some jewelry. And then there were these lovely women that had their own winery up in Twin Lake, and they had these sample cups, and they had 10 different kinds of wine and allowed us to try all 10 of them.
Well, that equals a whole glass, right?
That equals at least a whole and they're the Dixie cup. They were like the Dixie cups.
They're
filled up halfway.
Okay, that may be 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that might be
more
two
than a glass.
glasses.
Yeah, it was insane.
Half a bottle.
And then by the end of it, they proceeded to ask us, now which one is your favorite? Like we could remember. Like we could remember after that. I kept looking at the menu and I'm like, what was the third one that I tried after we talked about that one thing that I'm trying to like give myself deductive reasoning in my head like to get back. We ended up getting 4 bottles of wine.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you know how everything's kind of inflated because it's local. I think it was $100 for
4 bottles of wine.
For 4 bottles of wine. It was incredible wine.
I bet it's so good.
All of it is gone. It was gone
Good.
after, I think, the second week for both of us. We each drank both of our bottles of wine. But it's a dangerous place. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous, all I'm saying.
It is. But everybody needs to do it. Everybody needs to do it as long as you're mentally prepared to drop a couple $100.
For real.
You should be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what else? Oh, me, I guess?
Yeah,
Updates? Oh, I went and visited my friends in Detroit.
Yes.
That's always an absolute great time. Shout out to all my friends in Detroit. If you're watching or listening, I had a phenomenal time with all of you. Callie, Lindsay, Maddie, Becca, you know who you are.
Yo.
And I told a lot of people in Detroit, pretty much anybody that would listen about this podcast.
No way! Yay!
I swear to God, every Uber driver we had, I'd have hot takes on, how we're
good.
It's so funny how quickly, if you've got a cool Uber driver, and we happen to have a lot of, like every Uber driver was cool, right? Mm-hmm. Down to chat. How quickly it can go from how are you, how's your night been, to talking about the P. Diddy stuff going on, to them being like, what do you do for work? And then, one thing leads to another, and every single Uber driver for certain I told about this podcast.
Hell yeah.
I think 2 of them followed.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Shout out.
It helped that I was dressed cute.
Oh yeah.
And all of them were men, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then they'll be listening to it on their route.
Oh.
And then they'll get all their riders to listen. I think this is really good.
Yeah, it definitely could be. But yeah, we'll see. And then servers. I'm serious. Anybody that would listen to me.
Yeah.
Good.
That
were like trying to get to know me. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to be best friends, but I have a podcast, actually.
You're like, here's my card.
Right. Oh, we should make cards.
Yeah, we should. What about stickers?
I love the idea. Even maybe magnets.
Love it.
Magnets are cool.
Oh, love it.
Stickers are amazing.
Let us know, you guys.
Yeah, let us know.
What do you want?
And I asked my friends too. I said, what are some things we could do? And they started to tell me some things, that we should talk about on the podcast. they started going into like either individual stories or, you know, whatever, and telling me, oh, well, this would be a fun topic, or this would, and I said, write in, like, please, like, write in.
Write in.
I feel like people, it's like it's lost somehow, but we genuinely mean it.
Yeah.
Like, please, tell us what you want, you know?
For real.
We're just white-knuckling it.
We are.
Yeah.
And we're blindly trying to do something here.
The blind leading the blonde.
The deaf.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It is. That is us.
It's really true.
So, but that was phenomenal. I love
Good.
Detroit. I love that there are a billion things to do. And yeah, it was a great time.
Oh, yay. That makes me so happy.
Saw a comedy show. Eliza Schlesinger. She is so freaking hilarious. I did not know she had a couple of children, and I still wouldn't have known unless she did a bit about it.
Oh, nice.
But because of the way she was jumping all over the stage. I mean, she's doing like full-on squat frog hops from like 5 feet. I'm like, this is a Vegas show.
That's
like
amazing.
this is like Cirque du Soleil. This is not. I mean, this is a bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
You've seen her, right?
I have.
Yeah,
I saw her in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
She was so funny.
So funny. I was like clutching my sides the next day from laughing so hard.
Oh, that's the best feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, should we get into it?
Let's get into our confession.
Okay, I think I have to grab my phone to look at my stories.
We thought that it would be kind of fun and a little silly to start off with our own confessions, and then we'll get into some Reddit confessions.
Yeah.
I just kind of like sprang this on you like 5 minutes ago, so I know that we didn't really deeply dive into the depths of our brain.
I have a lot of sins.
You like to be.
I have a lot of things that it's fine.
You just need
Just
washed clean right here.
Yeah.
You need to confess.
Yeah.
Please confess.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was a young child, my cousin Gabe and I, on the bus, we had a bus driver named Mrs. Bailey. Shout out Mrs. Bailey if you're out there. And she was a great woman, but she led with fear.
As most great women do.
As most, I mean, how else do you get 50 kids to shut the fuck up and sit the hell down?
Showing them your backhand.
You gotta have.
I'm just kidding.
You've got to be stern, and by God, stern she was. So we just got to this point. I think we had been riding her bus. We were living out kind of in the country, and he went to a private Catholic school. I used to go to that school as well, and I could not take it. So I had moved on to public school, but you still ride the same bus, right? Because they're still close. And incrementally over the years, we would do little things just to get a rise out of this woman. As kids do, but especially as people in my family do. Just a bunch of instigators. So it was the week after either, and I cannot remember details, but it was the week after either Valentine's Day or Halloween. Mm-hmm. And we had an abundance of pixie sticks.
Of course.
So we decided it would be hilarious to basically start a drug ring in the back of the bus where kids of all ages and shapes and sizes would come to the back row because the cool kids sat in the back, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And we would line them up, lines of... I swear to God, this is a true story.
You were not snorting.
We were snorting pixie sticks. In the back of the bus, off the back seat of the bus. I swear to God.
Oh.
And...
The
oh
dirt.
my God, it burned so bad, but we pretended like it didn't, and like it was giving us basically like magical powers and like a high, like, oh yeah, that's so good, and oh my gosh, the colors, you know, we were just making it all up, and Eventually, you know, I forget how it came to it. Well, first of all, she saw us doing it. Like, after we had done it probably with 10 kids.
Yeah.
And they all went back to their seats, you know, because you have to, like, shuffle seat by seat so the bus driver doesn't see you walking in the aisle, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it got to a point where we're almost getting off the bus where, like, kids were, like, sneezing and coughing and screaming because it burned so bad. Yeah, it burned so bad. Gabe and I are the only ones laughing. Like, we're burning too, but we're like, gotcha, you know? Like, oh, that was so funny. And this woman slammed on the brakes, and everybody hit their head on the front of the seat, and she waddled all the way back and just ripped us a new asshole to heaven. I mean, it was so scary. Like, when you're a kid, an adult in general yells at you, but this woman, she had never left that damn seat.
I'm sure.
She had never left her seat in the, 3 years we've been riding her bus. And, yeah, she came back physically and just stood over us and screamed at us and yanked the bag of our pixie sticks away and said, what is this? And she was just screaming at us. And we were so scared. And I think we were not allowed to ride the bus for, a week or something. Like, we never got in trouble, like, with school.
Yeah, it was a bus thing.
It was a bus. We were, like, literally exiled from riding the bus. For like a week, and oh God, the chores we had to do. So, you know, people in my family knew about it. I thought it was a hilarious confession. I'm sorry if you were a child that was a victim to the pixie stick snorting epidemic.
There's a support group for you.
There is.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. Follow our TikTok. The instructions are on there.
How to detox from a pixie stick. You never know.
Overdose, yeah. Oh my God, they were sneezing, coughing so bad. Like, some of the littler ones were screaming. They were full on screaming, like, you know, and
the burn. I'm just literally imagining, like, in your nasal. Ow.
Oh, it was so terrible. Our eyes were running, you know, because we're laughing so hard, but also it burned.
Yeah. The sting.
God, that was hilarious. But it feels really good to get it off my chest.
I'm so thankful that you did. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. What's yours?
Well, I really can't top that one. Don't worry, it'll be a gentle letdown. It'll still be good.
I think we need a palate cleanse, actually, from mine.
I'm gonna cleanse your palate with some lemonade.
Okay.
I'm gonna take you back to a lemonade stand that I had one time.
I love it.
And we had 2 different colors. We had a pink and we had yellow.
Oh, the classics.
As some do, yes. And so we were almost done with the day. We're making stacks at this point. You know how it is. Like, rolling in the dough at this point. You're
turning and burning.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody told someone and now you're just in business.
Everyone's aunt is there. Everyone's got an aunt.
All the parents.
Everyone. Yeah. And of course, we're parched, so we're also sipping on some too.
Right.
But we just ran out, last lady in line, and she's like, I'll have the pink. And we look at each other and we're like, we're all out. I don't know how the hell we did this without her seeing. We must have turned back and there was maybe 4 kids.
You went to the back to get her some more.
Yeah.
And it was just turning around.
Basically turning around, taking all of our leftovers and pouring it in 1 cup.
Of the ones you were drinking out of?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Like our backslosh. Is that a word?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Backwash?
Yeah.
I like slosh more.
Backslosh?
Yeah.
It kind of you can kind of hear
mentally picture it and taste it.
Yes. That sugary, sweet pink slosh.
All of your backwash. And so it's you and both your sisters?
Actually, this was me and the Kimball girls.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, neighborhood.
Neighborhood gals.
Okay.
And then shout out to you guys. We had so much fun.
That is so hilarious. She never suspected a thing.
She took a sip in front of us and she's like, this is delicious. We're like, thanks for your 25 cents.
I wonder if it gave her powers.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just sharing our gut microbiome stuff with her. So
she's better for it.
She's better for it. Mm-hmm. We are. I don't know if we are, but
oh my God, that is so hilarious.
We're richer.
Did you at least put any ice cubes in it?
Oh, I think it was a hot one.
Okay.
A hot glass.
Oh, God. Oh, she suckled it down, though.
She was parched.
She's like, I walked a half mile here. I
Yeah.
heard all about the stand.
I heard you got pink.
Yeah, pink's my favorite. Oh, we almost ran out, but
don't worry.
we're gonna make it happen for you.
Yeah.
It will be more expensive though too. Did you charge her more for the last one?
We upcharged, no.
Oh my God, that would have been hilarious. That's a good one though.
Yeah, a nice palate cleanse.
Yeah, that's a good lemonade cleanse.
Yeah, ooh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
I had a professor, this is super quick, I had a professor in college, and we would just giggle the entire time. Just like being in a class with your sister is kind of wild, and like trying to be serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would just like look at each other and we'd laugh. But anyway, she would ask us like really hard questions, and then it would be dead silent. And then she would, I don't know how to explain this, but, and then she'd like go back to her desk and she'd swirl around this huge lemonade, like this huge cup of lemonade from like McDonald's. You can, like, you can hear the ice and everything
clinking.
And she just goes, I'm just gonna have a sip of my lemonade every time.
This was
every time.
Anya or the teacher?
The teacher. She would just go back to her, I'm just gonna have a sip of my lemonade every time that it was like dead silent until like one guy raised his hand and it was the same guy every time.
Oh, like she was like, since nobody's answering me,
yeah,
I'm just gonna swirl my lemonade.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sip my lemonade.
and I'm just gonna, I'll wait. Remember Mr. Whatever?
Bonema?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Or it
was computer class?
Yeah, so there was him, then there was the sex cells, there was the guy who taught us, he taught us science.
Yeah.
And he would stand in front of you, and if you started to fall asleep, he'd go, I'll wait. I'll wait. And he'd cross his arms.
What was his name?
I'll wait. Mr. Oh my God, I can't remember. Like Steinema or something.
Oh, you're close.
Or some.
I think that might be it.
Steven something.
Stamina. I don't know.
If you guys know who we're talking about and you also went to our high school, please write in and tell us what this man's name was. 7th grade science, he taught us about sex cells. He taught us about the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. He taught it,
I'll never forget his voice.
I'll never forget it either. I will never forget what he looks like. Unfortunately, his name was forgettable.
Unfortunately, he had an awful name.
Unfortunately, not enough to remember.
Yeah. He impacted us, but not enough.
Not in the ways, yeah.
Not in the ways he hoped.
He would occasionally drop like a book too, like next to you if you had fallen asleep.
Oh,
and then he'd cross his arms and be like, "I'll wait." Like really, it was so awkward. Like you could cut the tension in the room with a knife because it was so awkward for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, write in, please. I have to know. I won't be able to sleep
tonight. It's going to
tonight.
come to me. Yeah, I was just going to say in the middle of the night, I'm going to text you because it's going to come.
Good. And if we think of it, we'll write it in the comments of this episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He also played the trumpet.
He did!
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, he did.
He was like in a little band.
Yes.
Which made him really cute.
It did. He was kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Weird, but kind of adorable. So.
On to.
I'll just take a sip of my lemonade.
Yes. That's exactly it. Just the swirl.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
Oh, this is every time. Are we ready to get some?
Let's do it.
Crazy confessions. Would you like to start?
Yes, I absolutely would.
All right.
Let's see what we've got here. Alrighty. Okay. I have got... I've got a really juicy, kind of insane one to start. Or do I...
Yeah.
Do you have one that's not as crazy?
I feel like I have two like really pretty wild ones and then one like mediocre.
Okay. So to kick things off here today, I've got one, and it's kind of similar to something that was in a previous episode. Something I believe our family episode where we talked about family dynamics and relationships.
I'm in.
Okay, so I slept with my daughter's ex-boyfriend
No.
He got me pregnant and I had an abortion. They got back together and got married.
No.
Yeah, buckle up. Buckle up, Buttercup. This is insane. It's insane.
We just went there.
We're here. We've arrived. We've arrived.
There's no going back.
So also, I think it's hilarious that like the tag underneath it is remorse.
Oh.
I think the fuck not, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this was back in let me think, maybe 1997. I was 38 and my daughter was 18, and she was dating Harry, who was 24. I was an alcoholic and dabbled in other drugs, mostly cocaine. I was not a good person, let alone mother. Not like I was abusive to my daughter or anything, but I was generally inattentive and cared more about my alcohol and drugs than her, especially in her teen years. I'm 14 years sober now. I disapproved of my daughter dating Harry, but I never told her why. He would flirt with me, constantly, and the age difference also creeped me out. Also, he was an alcoholic and drug user just like me. She broke up with him over the alcoholism. Soon after she moved away, not too far, but regardless, she didn't live with me anymore. Harry kept calling me and asking if we wanted to get drinks. I turned him down, but then one day he said he had a bunch of Coke and I, in my state, couldn't resist. He came over, we did the stuff, and we ended up having sex. He was a very good-looking guy. He looked a lot like that ridiculous 80s Justin Bieber picture that was on the front page today. That is actually what made me think about him. I don't know what she's talking about.
80s Justin Bieber?
Because he wasn't born in the 80s.
No.
We're going to have to look into that, and if we find the photo for reference, we will add it to the Instagram.
You can post it. Mm-hmm.
For the next few months, maybe like 3 or 4 months, he would sometimes come over and we would have sex and do drugs and get drunk together. Any drug addict knows what it's like to have a drug addict buddy in that way.
Oh, no.
Then I got pregnant. It was by him. We had done sex a few times without a condom. I never told him I was pregnant, and I went and got an abortion, and I kept it a secret. Anyways, I stopped seeing him after that. It was too weird. I also got sober for like 4 months before relapsing. Fast forward 2 years, and my daughter contacts me and tells me that she got back with Harry and that he is fully sober. I was mortified, honestly. He was going to tell her that we slept together and she's going to hate me for life. They came over one day and I said hi, and when my daughter was gone, Harry told me that there is no reason to tell her about what happened. I agreed. It's been 16 years of marriage on their part.
No.
They have a kid together. Harry got cancer, then beat it. I got sober. That's basically it. I don't see them very often. They live in Texas and I live on the East Coast. But whenever I do, there is always that tension between me and Harry. It's literally the first thing that comes to either of our minds. I can just tell. Not like sexual tension, like, why did we have to do that? What the fuck is wrong with us kind of tension.
Yeah.
I think about it often, especially when I see my grandson. I always think that could have been my son if things had gone differently. But wow, what a disaster that would have been if I had decided to keep the child.
Holy shit, and she
Big one.
Still?
Big one to start.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Big one. So she just confessed to Reddit. She has not confessed to her daughter.
She has not told her daughter.
Holy shit, that's so wild.
Mm.
When you started out, and when it started in the 70s, I was like, whoa, dang, that's a long time ago.
1997.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell?
The 90s. So the Justin Bieber 80s thing is a mystery to me.
There was a lot of eras in
Mm-hmm.
there that might have been
Yeah.
not right. But anyway, when you said, okay, 97,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. But, I was just like, wow, it was like such a long time ago.
Right.
Like, where's this going? Even 97, I mean, that's,
Well, right.
quite some time ago. I'm trying to do quick math.
29 years.
Yeah.
Or 27 years.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because we're 96ers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that poor woman
and the grandson. And I mean, there is something, I guess, to be said about the substances.
Yeah.
They were under substances, and yeah, it's not like excusable, but there is almost a level of understanding in that when you are on anything that gets you out of your mind, the way that any of alcohol, any substance, whatever it is, any drug or substance can get you there. If they were admittedly addicts,
right?
They weren't just doing, it wasn't just some small amount. They were probably doing a lot of what they were doing.
Yeah.
And you can easily, I mean, you are completely out of your mind.
For months.
But for months.
Yeah. That's what shocked me so much when she said that it was going on for months.
Yeah.
Because
it becomes like a routine at that point,
You become so comfortable.
You become comfortably numb, right?
Yeah.
You become
together.
Yeah. So you had like that buddy, you had that like dysfunction support person that you were just fueling, and misery loves company. It's all the things, right? What other weird cliches can I talk about? Yeah, I don't know. You're just in it. You're like in that. It doesn't excuse it, but it is so weird. And the second, for me, when I read it, the second that my daughter started talking to him again, I would have immediately told her.
100%.
Would you think you would tell?
I think you would have to, in order to have a clear conscience, because she is going to, sounds like, go to her grave with this secret, and every single time she sees her daughter, her, grandson, or the husband, she's going to think about that. And that's going to weigh and eat you alive. Like, that would just eat at me.
Oh, yeah.
My guilt, my guilty conscience would never let me do that.
No. And I think there's something to be said with the substance abuse problem, too. I mean, if you are somebody that had a problem and you're sober, you go sober, and all, like, that is a lot of work that takes you to get there, especially with that particular one. I mean, that hooks you in, and it's probably very hard to stop. So imagine if, like, basically a walking trigger, every time you saw him, you imagine what you were like, and it's probably a really scary thing to like look back at like how you were behaving and like the person that you were when you were out of your mind, and you have to like basically relive that version of yourself every single time you see them.
Exactly.
And you
can't move on.
And you can't connect with your daughter. I wonder if she's nervous of telling, I mean, there's a million reasons why she'd be nervous to tell her daughter, but I wonder if she's nervous because maybe there was a strained part in their relationship because of the abuse, like the drug abuse, and she doesn't want to lose her again, or, that's probably be tough to tell her, but I feel like you have to.
Right. The fact that she hasn't yet makes me believe that she isn't going to. Were there any comments or any updates or anyone who was like, why aren't you telling her? Because I feel like a lot of the commenters might say, like, just come clean with it.
I only read one comment. It says, firstly, what the fuck? Secondly, what the fuck?
Same.
And thirdly, this is why I'm on Reddit. So that was the only one that I read.
That's about right.
And I didn't read any more, but I mean, just insane.
It's so sad.
I know.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where if you don't come out with it right away, it's almost so much worse if you hold on to it, even if you held on to it for a month and then shared. But now it's 16 years.
And they have a full child.
A full
and
child.
She could have had a child that would be older than that child.
They would have been siblings. Kind of.
Yeah, what would that family tree be? They would have been the daughter and the mom's kid would have been siblings. Half siblings.
Right. Because they share the same
And then
dad.
And then that kid and her child with Harry, the daughter's child with Harry, what would that be? The daughter is...
This is bringing me back to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a little... I just need a tree.
Yeah.
If someone drew it for me.
There's a lot of layers of incest kind of going on, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's...
in Game of Thrones.
Well, yeah, and this situation.
Yeah.
Because the mother's daughter, it's hard to... I do need a tree.
Someone draws up a map.
It'd be fucked up, whatever it is. It'd be...
The tree would be a little twisted.
The kids would have issues. Yeah. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh, well, you just kicked it off.
I know.
I love it though.
What do we got? What do you got?
All right, are you ready for this one?
I sure am.
I stole from a museum as a child. And I don't mean from the gift shop.
I saw this one on there.
You did?
And I thought about maybe doing it. Yes, yeah.
Did you read it?
I didn't read it.
Okay. This is actually, when I read it, it's so good. Okay. When I was a child, around 8 or 9, I went to a school trip to a museum that had an ancient Egypt exhibit running. The museum staff allowed the class to look at some old relics, passing them around in a circle. I remember looking at this little green/blue colored figurine of a goddess with a hippo head. I really liked it, and without second thought, I put it in my pocket and took it home with me.
As you do.
As one does. I sat at home playing with it, not really understanding the gravity of what I had done. Then we had a big assembly at school. The museum was looking for this figurine, and it was not a replica, but an actual ancient Egyptian artifact. I remember playing scenarios in my head of how I could give it back without getting caught, but I couldn't see a way out of it. Remember, this is a 7-year-old.
Yeah. They're real little.
The museum became angrier. The assemblies grew more pressing. Letters went home to all of our parents. Parents were called in of the naughty children who could have possibly done it. Finally, everyone calmed down. They realized they weren't getting it back, and I got away with it. The problem is, I'm 31 years old, and I still have the figurine.
No way!
Yes.
Oh my god.
I couldn't throw it away, as it's thousands of years old. I couldn't give it back. I would have been in unbelievable trouble. If I gave it back now, it would look strange that it's turned up after all this time in the same town by someone who went to that school. I've never told anyone about this figurine. No one else has ever seen it. I have no idea what I'll ever do with it. But that's my confession. Museum thief of an ancient artifact at 7 years old.
Oh my god.
Why, like, this would be so easy. I could see you and I easily doing this.
Yeah.
You and I like this, like, blue-green little figurine. It'd be like, yes.
Why were they not, like, better about, like, okay, like, let's get, like, the figurine back.
Right.
Like, let's, let's get it back. I feel like in that moment, if the kid would have been asked for it back, she would have...
100%.
I feel like maybe it was kind of like accidental almost. Like she liked it and...
Yeah, like that's a 7-year-old brain pattern. It's like, I like it, it's mine, it's in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like, point blank.
But if a parent, like if they went around or the museum person was like, okay, we really need that back now, and they were getting like serious in the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe they would have gotten like nervous and given it back.
Right.
Maybe.
But they didn't notice then. And then, yeah, she went home with it.
31 years old now.
I know. Do you want to hear the update?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well, hypothetically, first of all, what would you do if you were 31 years old and then you were like, oh shit?
Did the police... Okay, here's my thing. Did the police ever get involved?
I don't see anything about the police.
Okay, so it honestly sounds like a priceless item. Like, if there is a price, it's probably really high. What would I do? Honestly, I think it depends on if I'm having good luck or bad luck in my life. Because, like, if that thing was giving me a bunch of really good good luck in my life, or on the adverse, if it was giving me a bunch of really bad luck, I would have just turned myself in. I would have brought it in and been like, oh my god, I had this. I took it when I was 7 years old.
Right.
I'm so sorry. But maybe she's holding on to it because... Maybe she's like a millionaire or something now, and she's just, it's like a magical genie lamp or something.
Yeah.
And it's just like blessed her in her life. I have no idea.
Don't you feel like, okay, so one of the top comments is, I want this to be a movie where the figure has the spirit of an ancient pharaoh that possesses the one who took it, and they have to share a body. Every now and then the pharaoh gets control of the body that has to adapt into modern society.
Yes, something like
hilarious?
that. Yeah.
So, okay, so update. And this is actually only a few days old. This is 37 days old.
Wow.
But the final edit, just let everyone know, thanks to your comments, I did the right thing and returned the figurine to the museum.
Wow.
I did it anonymously from a different city. I hope they received it. I feel a lot better, thank you. So, the figurine is back.
That's amazing, actually.
I know.
They were able to do, like, that would have been, I mean, I would have returned it, I think, no matter what.
Yeah. Thousands of years old.
Yeah.
Ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, like, the powers that thing could have had.
Oh, yeah. It's easily magical, and, like, definitely I like the pharaoh idea.
Yeah, me too. Oh, God, that'd be hilarious. Like, that'd be such a good movie. I feel like it's giving, like, Night at the Museum.
Oh,
you
that would be such a good...
Give me the tablet.
Yes.
When they go to the Smithsonian or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
That's a really good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good, like, honestly, like, October movie, I feel like. You're just getting snugged in for the cozy winter.
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
We should watch.
I'd be in.
Yeah.
A live viewing.
Why was Ben Stiller, like, kind of low-key hot back in the day?
He had his moment.
He kind of had a moment. Like, he was in Along Came Polly. He was in Night at the Museum. He was in Meet the Fockers. He had his kind of claim to fame back then, and he always got with, like, the hottest women. Same way, like, Adam Sandler, you know. Mm-hmm. Adam Sandler, I kind of, like, get a little bit more, though.
Really?
Like,
I feel like I'm opposite.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Adam Sandler, I'm like, what? He just looks like a random guy on the street.
He does, but I think his personality is funnier to me than Ben Stiller's.
Yeah, and that's more attractive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, I like Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
That's the one we were talking about? I like Ben Stiller because it's weird to even say his name. I feel like he fell off the face of the earth in, like, 2009.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I haven't heard his name. But anyway, Tropic Thunder, I feel like that is, like, peak. That's, like, top 5 funny movies for me. That is peak comedy. He's so good in that.
Robert Downey Jr. is hilarious in that.
They have the best cast in that movie. And the best, like, the scenery, the setting is so good. And the music. The music is really good.
Tropic Thunder is so good. It's
It's
good.
a definite win. All right, what do you think? One more each?
Yeah, let's do one more each.
Let's do it.
Okay. This one's really short, and this is more of a joke.
Okay.
And then I have another one to actually go after this.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
When I'm constipated, I envision myself as a chicken who must lay an egg so a poor farmer can eat breakfast. And it helps. It helps. I gotta get this out to this poor.
That's his confession. He's like, I have to get it off.
Like, and every time it happens, like,
this poor farmer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The comments on that were my top fave. Oh my god.
You got it.
Top 5 favorite confession of all time.
Absolutely.
Yep, buddy. Just pretend you've got to feed a hungry farmer and let it go. Oh my god. I think that one's hilarious. Okay, so I've got another long one.
I know. That's kind of where I'm at.
Okay, I'm just going to do this long one, I guess.
Yeah, do it.
We'll have to edit out all that break. Okay. I met my current boyfriend by slipping him my number while I was on a date. We're starting this over.
Yep.
Cutting all this.
Got it.
I met my current boyfriend by slipping him my number while he was on a date with someone else, and I was their server.
Damn. Girl.
This like kind of boils my blood, but okay.
Whoa. I'm okay. Continue, please. Let's hear it.
I used to work at a cheesecake factory as a server. About a year and a half ago, my current boyfriend came in with some other girl for a date. I'm not sure what it is about my boyfriend, but he just really does it for me. He's not at all my normal type of guy I'm attracted to, but for some reason he just makes me melt every time I look at him. Gag. He's got this super self-assured smile, and something about the way he talks gets me. He's got his little chuckle, and he always looks down and bites his lip after. He's just like it for me. So I immediately rushed over to their table. Typically, if I saw a guy I was attracted to, I could give better service because I genuinely wanted to interact with him and everyone at the table, and that usually led to nicer tips. When I started serving them, I couldn't help myself, and I was flirting super obviously. So much so, my coworkers were telling me to be careful I didn't get complained on. But he was flirting back with me, so I was like a shark who smelled blood in the water.
Oh my gosh.
I spent so much time talking to him at their table. Other tables I was serving had to call out to me because I completely forgot about them. Honestly, looking back, that was more of a date for me and him than it was for him and her. Because we talked about what he did for work, what I studied, what my favorite foods were, what he likes, music. I must have been at that table accumulatively for around 40 minutes.
No.
At the end of it, she was being very short with me and him, and I kind of figured she'd complain. So I said, screw it, scribbled my number down, and put it under his card when I gave it back to him. He texted me that night, and we've basically been dating since. I'm moving in with him on Friday. It was honestly a very rude and shitty thing to do, but I'd do it over and over and over again in a second.
Oh, I have so many thoughts. I'm floored by this. She didn't even give them a chance.
No.
Like, he took her out on this other woman out on a date.
Right.
Although, I will say what, who said this? It was Johnny Depp. He has a quote that says, if there are two women, or if there are two people in your life, pick the second one. Because if it was the one, the first one, if the first one was the one,
there would never be a second.
Exactly.
To question.
Exactly. So that quote has stuck with me for a long time. So, hey, girl who was option number one, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Because this man, he has a wandering eye. This is what we call a wandering fucking eye.
Right.
And he's not settling down. He's looking at the waitress.
Right.
I mean, okay, granted, the waitress obviously was sticking her bum in their food, but...
She was just dripping her titty in their steak.
Yeah. She's like, oh, here, how do you like your steak?
Hey, what kind of music do you like? Plop. Just,
Plop.
like, splashing mashed potatoes on the other woman.
Yeah.
I think it's repulsive. I think it's disgusting. It's not very demure. It's not very cutesy. It's not very mindful.
Yep.
I think it's kind of trashy. I also, to a point, like, I'm also the kind of person, okay, give the girl the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was a first date. Maybe let's hope. Okay, I'm giving complete, like, benefit of the doubt. This is a first date, and maybe even or a second. Maybe they went and did something and the chemistry was just, like, kind of off.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy's, like, maybe he was, like, hoping to be able to leave at any point. Yeah. And so this was his way of, like, basically telling her, showing her he wasn't interested in her by flirting with this other girl. There are just so many better ways to do it. I think the guy is weak. I think if you're not, like, into the other person, just, like, say that.
For sure.
And also, like, maybe excuse the other girl. Right? Like, don't you think, like, I'm sorry, like, what we're doing, like, I'm kind of really into her. Like, have the balls and be like, hey, I've had a really nice time with you, but I'm kind of hitting it off with this woman. I know it's really shitty of me to do, but, like, own it. to make that girl sit through the entire dinner,
I'm floored.
I'm surprised she didn't get up and leave.
100%.
So that makes me almost feel like it wasn't a first or second date. So why the hell did she sit there and subject herself to that for so long?
I'm wondering if she's young. Maybe. What if she's like young and naive? Like this is like college or even high school. I don't know.
Just really sweet.
Just really a sweet gal.
She's better than me, I'll tell you that. She's better than me because I would have been losing my shit. I would have thrown my drink in his face. I would have said, "You're a pig and you're a slut" to the server. And I would have been like, "You two deserve each other.
Yeah.
This is disgusting. Like, why don't you guys go fuck in the cooler in the back?"
They probably did after.
They probably did.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone just has this aura about them, and he obviously had the aura of like, I'm looking for
someone else,
I'm
something
cruising,
else.
Yeah, I'm cruising for a bruising. At this point,
I'm looking for a honey. This one that I'm with is not her.
Yeah.
Like the wandering, just making eye contact and like he was giving off the vibe for sure. She was giving off the vibe for sure, but also the way the OP wrote the post grossed me out.
So gross.
Like, there's just something about him that just, like, totally does it for me. Like, to be honest with you, her energy is kind of giving pick me.
She's trying to justify her, like, really awful, not girl's girl.
No, not a girl's girl, and also just, like, she's doubling down on the fact that she's kind of a salacious whore.
She's
She's doubling down. She talks about how her coworkers and even a manager at one point were like telling her like, you got to stop this because they're going to complain. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
You're also not serving your other tables and they're going to complain and you're just like to hell with it. Like, okay, whatever. If you believe in true love, I guess I get it, but it's also like time and a place, slip him the number if he calls you, fine.
Right.
But to continue that on for 40 minutes and then in this post be like, I can't explain it. It's the way he bites his lip. It just really does it for me.
The way he ate his cheesecake.
Ugh.
Ew.
Yeah, it's just like the way I feel like she's like a furry or something.
Like that's the only rational explanation.
I'm like picturing like she enjoys shitting in a litter box. And he was wearing a tail, and she's like, that's my man right there.
He's like, yes,
absolutely. That's my man.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I don't know.
I mean, we've been out to dinner with our man. Can you just please picture yourself going out to dinner with Austin, and this hoe comes running up, flapping her butt cheeks. In your man's face.
Like butt cheeks. Oh my god. No, I can't picture that, but I can. I don't want to picture
Please
that.
Don't. Please don't.
Butt cheek flaps. So, no, I can't because I mean, again, I'm throwing the drink on him. I'm gonna try to be cutesy and demure about it, but I'm gonna be like, I'm throwing a drink in his face, and I'm like, this is disgusting. Have some class, like. But honestly, thank you because the trash is taking itself out.
It is.
Like that is so trashy to me. If you behave like that, go to therapy, and also, I mean, just figure it out. That's like an unhealed person. That's just like really odd behavior. I think the OP is totally in the wrong for this. I mean, props to you if you guys are meant for each other, but
absolutely in the wrong.
You guys will never be on my frequency. Like I just would never understand somebody at that frequency.
Hell
personally.
No. Yeah, that's. You dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
The other woman, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, I have one more.
Love
it. It's a little silly one. So, okay, here's a confession. Our last confession of the day.
Perfect.
It says, oh my god. Okay, wait.
It says that?
Yeah. It actually says it just like that.
With like the music notes going up and down.
Okay, I run a fake restaurant on a delivery app. I registered for a company, bought all the takeaway boxes from Amazon, signed up for a few delivery apps, made a few social media accounts, and printed leaflets that I dropped in the mailboxes. I resell microwaved meals. On some meals, I add something to make them look better, like cheese. So far, I earn around 200 euros a day in revenue. That's, I think, like 220 or 240.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than...
Yeah. Cash. Nobody suspects a thing. Soon someone will come for a hygiene inspection. Do it. Nobody suspects a thing. Soon someone will come for a hygiene inspection, but I'll sure pass it without any problems. It's not illegal to operate out of your own kitchen. Should I feel bad? I feel kind of proud to be fair and as free as a bird from the 9-to-5 life. And then the edit is like saying, please stop commenting on the legality of this. I'm doing everything by the law. I live in the UK, so yes, I can work out of a non-commercial kitchen. Yes, I'm registered and I will pay taxes in January. Yes, I have my certificates, and yes, I have insurance. So it's just like the legal side of it. But what are your thoughts on I mean, essentially imagine you are ordering a DoorDash lasagna and it comes to you and it's microwaved.
I feel like it already is. I feel like, okay, so whatever the UK equivalent is of like an Applebee's or a Chili's, or because that's like the quality that you'd be able to pass right with. This is not like a high-end restaurant. They're probably passing as like some kind of like sports bar or wing place or something. I say hell yeah, get the bag. Because
I'm down for it.
Because a Stouffer's lasagna to me tastes suspiciously similar to like an Applebee's doesn't have lasagna, but or a, you know, most Applebee's or Chili's or whatever, most like fast food or restaurant chains, like food chains, they are microwaving a lot of that food.
Oh, yeah.
They already are in the United States. So you're not checking the ingredients. Like, if you're not somebody maybe that's, like, really, like, health conscious, you're going on a DoorDash, you're going to care less about what you're ordering from DoorDash, you're going to care the same amount as if you were to be, like, going and eating frozen food.
Exactly.
You don't care.
Right.
Because to you, it's the same. He hasn't gotten any complaints.
It's
about the quality that they were expecting. Right. I say get the bag.
100%. I mean, I've worked at restaurants. You've worked at restaurants.
Yeah.
If you order like spaghetti or anything with noodles, I want you to know that you are not eating like freshly prepared noodles. Those have been made days ago.
Yeah.
And those are in the freezer. Those have been neatly weighed out, like by the ounce. You are getting the exact, 12 ounces or whatever.
Portion,
and then that bag is being thrown into a bowl and then microwaved. Like, you are not getting fresh noodles. So at this point, all takeout food is microwaved or like heated up very quickly. Maybe there's a pot of boiling water, they like dip it in there.
Sure.
To make it a little warm.
Or like they sear the like chicken on a grill just to get those lines.
Right.
But I mean,
and then they put it in the freezer and then they microwave it. Yeah, when needed.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's the quickest way and it keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
So that a big amount of people can be eating throughout the day. But,
right. Frozen food doesn't also necessarily mean worse for you. Like, just because they're frozen meals, like, if you make a bunch of soup and you put it in the freezer, it's the healthiest soup you've ever made. It's still healthy soup when you go to reheat it.
Yeah.
So, like, these don't have to be, like, they're not doing anything, like, potentially. They're not doing anything, like, health.
Right. Health concerned or...
Yeah. Actually, people would probably be able to know more about what the ingredients are because he'd be able to go read it off of the box.
So true. They're like,
versus like an Applebee's, you're not gonna be able to go and ask them what is every single ingredient in here.
It's so true.
Yeah.
The workers, because I have food allergies.
Right.
The servers, they have no idea.
No idea.
Like, sorry, it has to be gluten free and dairy free. They're like, What? I don't know.
Panic.
It's straight panic. They have no clue.
Right.
At this point, I'd rather get a microwave meal.
Yeah, because you know exactly what's in it.
Yeah, I can read the box.
I say get the bag, and I think it's sweet that he adds cheese.
I think it's
I think it's
cute.
sweet. I think it's cute that he gives him a little dabble of cheese just to spice it up.
I'm picturing like this, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing
It's a little
Sprank. Sprank is Frank.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was picturing that too, actually.
Yeah, really?
I was picturing like a Parmesan.
Oh, with the hand under
Yeah.
it. Oh.
So, yeah, I say get the bag. That's a good one, though.
Yeah, I thought that was fun.
Mhm.
Silly.
I had some crazy ones.
Those were...
Comparatively.
We just took everyone on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Hope everybody's okay. Drink some water.
I hope you're okay from the whiplash.
Yeah.
It's okay, though.
And, yeah, those were good.
Yeah, those were
I like those a
good.
lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you want any more confessions or if you have a confession of your own.
Please write in if you have a confession.
Just confess to us.
Just confess your sins.
Yeah,
Please.
it could be anonymous.
It can absolutely be anonymous. Going back to my friends from Detroit this weekend, they said, "Can I write things in anonymously? And you'll read it as an anonymous person?" I said, "Maybe."
You're like,
No, I said, "Of course." Yeah. But I'm like, "Of course."
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
nobody has to know who's saying what for the story to be like something crazy or relevant or exciting or a good story.
Exactly.
We don't have to, like, there doesn't have to be names associated to everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Change those names if you don't want real names. I mean, that's the fun part of writing it.
Exactly.
Make it your own. Give it your POV, and we'd love to read it.
Yeah, so write in, follow us on
TikTok
and Instagram and YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
This will be our first YouTube.
Okay.
Yay!
All of our YouTubers are gonna see our outfits and our hair.
It
And
says Michigan, by the way.
Ooh.
So we're representing.
we might need to have like a fit check on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Just an exclusive fit check.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. You guys can see my moose knuckle and my leggings. These are Amazon.
Those are only for our YouTube watchers.
These are my Amazon leggings, and this is my moose knuckle.
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely you're going to want to click the follow button for that for more content. For more content like this.
And yeah, it'll likely be Gives and Takes Pod. We have to create the YouTube, but follow us on everything. Write in, like, subscribe, and follow.
And share it with a friend.
Please. Or an Uber driver.
Oh, yes.
Or a server at your local restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Your local server who's always slapping booty cheeks.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess tell her.
You gotta tell her.
She could learn something from this, in fact.
She needs to know.
And you could tell it to your local neighbor.
Your local librarian.
The local lady getting lemonade from you.
The hot lemonade. Yes.
The hot swash drinker. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.